as we get very close to the end of the U.S. government shutdown? Is a bunch of liquidity about to be injected back into the markets? And if so, which two altcoins will pump the hardest? This is your Altcoin Buzz news. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, altcoinbuzz.io, and as always, is not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Also, make sure to join us for our X Spaces Tuesday to Friday at 9 a.m. EST, link down below. All right, good morning, you guys. So this morning, we're actually pumping currently right now before New York open. We are looking like we want to come back up towards this $107,000. Which is a level of resistance that we marked out earlier. Now, we were saying we wanted this to ideally come out, take out this level of liquidity around $98,000. We wanted this to sweep over the weekend and then continue higher, but we never actually swept it. We just were kind of pumping sideways and then pumping over the weekend. And so right now we're coming up into this level. So this is a very key level to watch. So as the U.S. government shutdown ends this week potentially, and liquidity is injected back into the market, are we going to break through this level of resistance, then reclaim it and then head higher? Or are we going to reject from this level of resistance, come back down here towards $98,000 and sweep these levels and then head higher? That is what we want to be watching for this week. Both scenarios are entirely possible. Ideally, we'd prefer if it just, reclaimed $107,000 and we went up higher, and we didn't have to go back down towards $98,000 and see the timeline in shambles again. Both scenarios are entirely possible. We're going to see what happens this week. Now, I will say we have great whales are buying Bitcoin heavily. Between October 24th and November 7th, aptos is holding 10,000 plus Bitcoin, more than doubled their holdings. That's roughly 36,000 Bitcoin accumulated during a period where price was under pressure and sentiment was weak. At the same time, mid-size holders reduced exposure, smaller investors were cautious, but the largest capital stepped in and absorbed supply. This is why Bitcoin has held above $100,000 despite the fear and volatility. Strong hands are setting the floor while the market resets. Short-term, a price can still move around, but structurally, heavy accumulation at the largest entities has historically preceded the next leg higher. And we have Paul Barron saying macro setup is wild right now. The Fed pumped a record $125 billion through the SRF, the repo facility, under pressure. The bank reserves are under $3 trillion, the tightest since January. The government shutdown ending, the TGA cash release equals liquidity surge, and XRP ETFs auto-effective November 13th and bypass SEC shutdown. The liquidity drought is about to become a liquidity flood. Crypto loves liquidity, watch closely. We also have here, President Trump says, we're getting close to U.S. government shutdown ending. This you'll know very soon. So this was last night. It was also a bit confusing last night because we had these headlines come out saying Senate reaches a deal to end the U.S. government shutdown. So we pretty much thought it was ended, but maybe it's not ended, but maybe it is ending this morning. We also have the Kobayashi letter saying a short-term funding bill is now expected to receive enough support to reopen the U.S. government through January 31st. The measure would provide a full year of funding for SNAP and Veteran Affairs. And then we had the polymarket odds of this saying when will the U.S. government shutdown end? So you can see the odds spiked last night to between November 12th and November 15th, which is, this week. Then an interesting point here is we have Trump says Americans will get at least $2,000 dividend payment, excluding high-income earners. Remember what happened to Bitcoin after the 2020 stimulus. So this is supposedly coming from the revenue from the tariffs. We'll have to see if this actually happens. So the main difference with this, though, is that it's a dividend payment coming from revenue, and it's not money being printed. So the fact that the money isn't being printed for this specifically, there is still money being printed. But because there's not money being printed from this, and also there's not huge corporations taking out these different loans, there's not the same amount of money being injected into crypto, in my belief, and if this was to happen again. Sure, there might be some going into it, but also there's a whole, stock market all-time high. There's the AI trade. There's a lot more sports betting. There's polymarket. So I think people from 2020 might be less likely to invest into random crypto altcoins than they would, their sports betting platform or their polymarket or different AI coins or, stocks that are actually continuing to go up. So I do think this is kind of bullish for crypto. I don't think it's the same level of a 2020 stimulus that we saw back here. But then Tony Edwards says, as mentioned months ago when Trump floated the idea, we have a perfect storm brewing for a monster rally to a blow-off top. The $2,000 tariff stimmy checks will make retail flood into the markets, add government reopening, Fed ends QT and doing QE sooner than later, crypto legislation passing, and you have big narratives for a bull market to continue. So I do think this kind of does lead into this blow-off top. I just don't think that $2,000 are all going to be flooding into crypto like it was in 2020 because there was just way less altcoins back then as well. So the money will be dispersed a lot more than it was, back in 2020. So well, I do think alt season is coming. I don't think it's going to be just like 2020 was back then. But then moving on, we have Coin Bureau saying BlackRock's bullish on Ripple. During the Ripple swell, BlackRock's Maxwell Stein said the market is ready for a large-scale blockchain adoption, and he added that Ripple's infrastructure could soon move trillions of dollars on-chain. We also have Canary Capital saying, get ready, Canary XRP ETF is coming soon. We also have the first U.S. spot XRP ETFs could launch next week, which is this week. The DTC just listed 5 spot XRP ETFs from Bitwise, Franklin Templeton, 21 shares, Canary, and CoinShares under its active and pre-launch category. And Diana shares that Ripple teams up with MasterCard to settle credit card payments on the XRP ledger. So let me explain what's actually happening. MasterCard, Ripple, and WebBank and Gemini joined forces to bring stablecoin settlement to real credit card payments using Ripple's US dollar-backed stablecoin, RLUSD. When you use a Gemini MasterCard, the bank, which is WebBank, and the MasterCard have to move money behind the scenes. Normally that takes 1 to 3 business days through old bank rails. Now Ripple's stepping in with RLUSD on the XRP ledger to make those settlements instant. Basically, you swipe your card, the payment settles in seconds using RLUSD, no waiting, no middlemen, no banking delay. That's a massive shift. It is also the first time a regulated US bank, which is WebBank, is using regulated stablecoin RLUSD to sell traditional MasterCard transactions on a public blockchain. And Ripple President Monica Long put it perfectly. This shows how regulated digital assets like RLUSD can enhance settlement, paving the way for faster, compliant payments. If this pilot works, it could scale to MasterCard's entire global network, meaning your next credit card swipe payment might settle on the XRP ledger. Now XRP is looking strong this morning. One of the stronger, it's actually up 8%, while everything else is up maybe 2-3%. So XRP, one of the stronger coins this morning, also potentially because of the XRP ETF coming soon. And what we were saying last week is we were kind of rejecting from under here at that point, and it wasn't looking good. And so it was looking like we could go down to $2. Now we've broken through that and we've gotten above this level. This is actually the point of breakdown from the sell-off. And so we're actually above that currently right now. If we can close a daily candle above this level around $2.50, this is going to be bullish, and we're going to be looking to reclaim this level and head back up towards this next level towards around $2.70 to around $2.76-ish. So this is like the preliminary, level to reclaim in order to get to this big level of reclaiming. And so once we reclaim this big level, this is when XRP is going to look really bullish because we've reclaimed this huge level of support, which has just been this multi-month level of support. So right now we're kind of consolidating underneath it, which is still bullish. It's very strong today. And so we want to see this hold above 250 and then consolidate here and then break through this level. And so once we reclaim this blue box, we're looking very good for XRP because this has been, a big level of support. And so as long as we can hold above this level, we are looking good for XRP again. So CoinEx is one of the best exchanges you haven't heard of. Like Gate.io or Mexi, they offer a lot of coins. But more importantly, they offer the high quality coins you want. In fact, over 800 coins and over 1,200 trading pairs are available. They also have a great new program going on right now as well. Just sign up with the link below and you get up to $100 USDT to help your account get going. The offer is only good until November 9th, so get in there and get your bonuses soon. So click the link down below and give CoinEx a try today. And then moving on to the second altcoin which could surge is Solana, and we have Neil saying $1 million in daily revenue. The job's not finished, only possible on Solana. So even though Solana, even though Solana is down, the markets are down, Solana continues to do $1 million in daily revenue. We also have 9 consecutive days. Solana ETFs have seen inflows for 9 consecutive days now, with Bitwise's BSOL ETF leading the way. And the Solana post shares, Solana continues to dominate all chains in DEX volume and app revenue. So you can see Solana here with $4.22 million in 24-hour app revenue. Now Solana is looking decent as well, not quite as good as XRP, but still looking pretty nice here. We are coming up into this level. This blue box is now a level of resistance, which was support prior all this time. And so we're gonna have to break above 173 to around 176. Once we can back above this level, it's decent. This is the level of breakdown, which is a little bit higher than XRP's. So you can see the point of breakdown from this sell-off was $187. Ideally, we want to get back above here because that'll change us into an uptrending market. But this is a good start here, is reclaiming this major level of support around 173 to 177. So if we can get back above here today, if we have bullish news coming out today or tomorrow with the government shutdown or whatever, I think this is starting to look good to reclaim this level and start setting up for a reclaim, because you can see here we have all this huge downtrending market and we want to really shift this back up to an uptrend. And so hopefully this comes this week and we have a pretty bullish week for crypto as well, because it's just been brutal the last few weeks. But overall, Solana looking decent right here. And then moving on, we have Say, and Say offers the lowest transaction fees across major blockchains. Fees are 10x lower than Sui and 30x lower than the next fastest EVM chain. For global enterprises and high-frequency systems, cost-efficient infrastructure is a core requirement, and Say delivers it at scale. And we have Say's cumulative trading volume just crossed $138 billion. On-chain activity keeps accelerating, and we're still early. We also have Andrew saying, if layer 1s aim to reduce the average fee per user, the winner is the one with the lowest rank. Say network boasts an average fee per user of 0.0017, which is lower than most common layer 1s like Ethereum, Solana, and even Rodent. We also have Say adding, the world's largest crypto exchange is now a Say network validator. Binance, the exchange securing $180 billion in assets for 200 million plus users, now helps secure the fastest layer 1. Built for global finance, secured by global enterprises. Markets move faster on Say. We also have Harris sharing weekly updates, move faster and bigger on Say. So as of the first week of November, we have Binance joins as an official validator. Robinhood app has listed Say. Chainlink has named an official oracle of Monaco on Say. Turban has become the CEO of Monaco, and 13.5 million wallets on Say, leading all EVMs and unique active wallets. Now, if we go to Say, it's looking decent this morning as well. Pre-market, this was the level which we broke down, or just under 20 cents here. We are about to reclaim that. So if we can reclaim this and break back above and hold this level, we are looking decent. And then I think we will fill this gap up here towards 27 cents pretty quickly. I think this is pretty inefficient. And so I think the market will move fast through this level up towards 27 cents. So I'm liking this level here. We are, not the strongest, but not the weakest coin here today. We have XRP looking the strongest this morning. But if the markets are going to continue upwards today, I do think we reclaim this level. And if money is injected back into the markets, I think Say is going to be one of the faster ones. No pun intended. So that is Say. I like Say here, and it's looking decent. And then lastly for today, we have Aptos, and another big move for Aptos. Aptos just teamed up with Chainlink Data Streams and Decibel Trade to bring real-time, low-latency data on-chain for the next era of DeFi trading. With $750 million plus in TVL secured with Chainlink and $1 billion plus in stablecoins flowing across the network, Aptos is quietly becoming the global trading engine it promised to be. Unique partnerships, real liquidity, faster execution. This is where DeFi scales for real. And we have Aptos sharing cheapest in class, no rails, as fast. USDT moves better on Aptos. You can see here, Aptos is the most cost-effective blockchain for P2P USD transfers at 0.0001 cent per transaction for USD, with the next cheapest being what looks like Polygon at 0.003, which is still extremely cheap, but 3 times more expensive than Aptos. And then we have Nansen sharing Aptos just posted 2x in active addresses over the past 30 days. From 750,000 to 1.8 million, something real is brewing on Aptos. So they are working on something big behind the scenes. Masari also shares Aptos closed October with a record month and in stablecoin market cap of 1.49 billion, up 48.8% month over month from $1 billion. As Aptos moves towards technically realizing its vision of becoming the global trading engine, real adoption and growth are happening in stablecoin, RWA, and blue chip DeFi application usage. And lastly, Layer Alpha shares BlackRock's BUIDL is on track to overtake USDT and become the biggest RWA on Aptos. So here we have market cap of USDT at 547.5 million and BlackRock's BUIDL fund just behind it at 544. So BlackRock might overtake, and the fact that they are so confident in putting it on Aptos is very bullish for Aptos. Now, Aptos as well, pretty much at the same as the other ones, about to reclaim this level of breakdown, which is $3.37. Once we reclaim this is like a preliminary. This gets us back above here, which is this major level of support, which we've been at for a long time, which is $3.87. Really, once we get back above here, you can say, it's pretty confident that we are going higher. So really we'll want to get back above this. But at the very least, we want to reclaim this level, which was the point of breakdown from a couple days ago. So I'm just looking decent as well. Nothing to do just yet. We want to see it reclaim this level and hold above here, just like all the other altcoins. But overall, XRP is looking one of the best today. And Bitcoin looking decent as well. We're at 106.5 pre-market right now. We're gonna have to see if if the market wants to hold up at Monday morning New York Open. Typically, it tends to sell off after a Sunday pump, but we'll have to see if this time is different. If everyone is anticipating a government shutdown ending this week and liquidity to be injected back into the markets. But I will say, be cautious as we come up here towards $107,500 because this was a level of support and now turned into resistance. So it's very possible we come up here, we reject, and then ideally we consolidate underneath here and then we continue higher, something like that. But it is also possible we come up here and we reject. And then we come back down and take out these stops below $98,000. So those are the two scenarios I'm watching for today and this week. And that is the video for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.